Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Cultural Remodeling program. My name is Chilesh Kandeta from the Ministry of Finance and National Planning. This evening, we have a very special report for you colleagues and countrymen. In this report, we are showing you the launch of the Kasumbalesa border post, which was launched by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Rupiah Banda. As you may have seen on the news, we are also graced by the presence of the Governor of the Katanga Province of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mr. Moses Chapweka Katumbi. He was there in Kasumbalesa and we saw that launch. It was very, very wonderful. However, before we get to that program, let's look at a recap of our program last week, in which we featured the Minister of Health, Honorable Kasumbalesa, Member of Parliament. Watch with me.
Right now, we've received equipment for second level and third level hospitals. All the theater equipment, the ICU equipment, the laundry equipment, the kitchen equipment, right now we've received it. And more other pieces of equipment for third level and second level hospitals. That we should be sending to these places, I think, by end of this month. We should be, because where it's being stored at medical stores, it's completely full, that it's becoming difficult for us to put in anything else. And they are complaining. Yes. They are complaining because really that's not what medical stores is meant to be. They are not really supposed to be keeping equipment. But we have brought in all the labor ward equipment, delivery beds and everything, which really cheers me. Because when you go to some of these delivery points, where the mothers are delivered is quite a sorry sight. But we've brought in all this equipment. Right now, as I speak, as of yesterday, we're clearing equipment for 45 health posts. Oh. Yes. 45 health posts. Here, it has already landed in Zambia. And if you saw yesterday's paper, we're advertising for the supply of equipment for 133 health posts. It's there in the papers.
Those are business opportunities for the locals.
Of course. I mean, yes. It's there in the papers. They can check it. I saw it in the Daily Mail. Yeah. So we are trying to make sure that we make operation any infrastructure we have built, and we shall do it.
Thank you. Welcome back. That was Minister Kasumbalesa there, just giving us an insight into what is going to happen in 2011 in the health sector. At this point in time, it is my pleasure to take you to a report of the launch of the Kasumbalesa border facility by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia. Join me as we look at what was happening in Kasumbalesa in Chirawombwe.
The National Treasury has limited capacity to meet all the economic development needs of the people of Zambia. However, through public-private partnerships, PPPs initiative undertaken by the Zambian government, opportunities for efficient and effective provision of public goods, services and infrastructure have been enhanced. This is so because PPPs are a viable means of infrastructure development. PPPs programs are aimed at effectively addressing the constraints of finance and management faced by the public sector. PPPs also enable the public sector to streamline government functions to that of facilitation, monitoring and evaluation by ensuring efficiency and accountability in the provision of public services. A few days ago, the border town of Chirilawombwe was a hive of transnational activities as delegations from Zambia and the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo converged on Kasumbalesa, a border location between the two countries. An ultra-modern border facility has been constructed at Kasumbalesa. The new facility is expected to improve trade between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Zambia. The people of the Zambian Copper Belt province are very happy with the development. The provincial minister, Mr. Mwansambula Kulima, was on hand to welcome both Zambians and the Congolese to the official launch of the Kasumbalesa border crossing facility by the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Rupiah Banda. The new Kasumbalesa border crossing facility has been constructed by the Zambia Border Crossing Company via a build operate and transfer PPP arrangement.
Your Excellency, it is incredible that today we can stand here in this fashion. A few months ago, it was not going to be possible. Most of you who knew Great North Road in the olden days, when it was called Hell Run, it was hell to do business in Kasumbalesa.
It is clear to all Zambians that the Copperbelt province has undergone major positive transformation over the last few years. The new Kasumbalesa border facility, located on 100 hectares of land on Zambia's border with the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, is another score on the scale of development programs lined up by the government for the Copperbelt province.
Just to remind you, this year you have already inaugurated the Choma-Namala Road.
Pour te dire que cette année, tu as déjà inauguré la route de Choma.
You have inaugurated the Livingstone-Zimba Road.
Tu as inauguré les Livingstone, la route de Livingstone.
And now you have opened the following projects again this past year. Landless Kona Mumba Road.
Vous avez aussi inauguré la route de Mumba Road l'année passée.
Chipata Mfue Road.
Et Chipata Mfue Route.
Chipata Lunda's Road.
Et Chipata Lunda Route.
Kasama Luwingo Road.
Et Kasama Luwingo Route.
And you still have to inaugurate the following roads where work have already started. Mufumbe Kabombo Road.
Et vous continuez à inaugurer d'autres comme Mufumbe
Kabombo Zambezi.
Et Kabombo Zambezi Route.
Zambezi Chavuma.
Zambezi Chavuma Route.
And you still have to commit the following new road this year, the urban roads on the Copperbelt in Lusaka.
Vous continuez toujours à faire des efforts pour inaugurer d'autres routes urbaines.
You are going to open the bottom road.
Vous allez encore ouvrir d'autres routes.
You are going to open the Soka Kasama Road.
Vous allez ouvrir encore Kasama Soda route.
And for the people of the Copperbelt, please listen very carefully. The Petico Road.
Pour la population des Copperbelt, les petites routes.
And of course, the Kalulushi Rufanyama Road. Is this not a big achievement to be undertaken in 2 years?
Ça, c'est un grand projet que vous avez atteint dans 2 ans.
What more in the next 5 years? By the end of the 5 years, the whole of Zambia is going to be properly connected, city by city.
Indeed, city-to-city connections are very important in accelerating nationwide and transnational trade. Mr. Moses Katumbi, the Democratic Republic of Congo governor for the Katanga province, represented President Joseph Kabila at the official launch of the new Kasumbalesa border crossing facility. Mr. Katumbi accredited the sound neighborliness between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. He acknowledged the improved collaboration between the two friendly countries. He expressed confidence that mutual economic benefits would be derived from the improved operations at the Kasumbalesa border crossing facility.
Mr. President,
Your Excellency the President,
Copperbelt is also my province. Zambia is also my country. I think it's the first time I've seen a type of investment like what is at the border.
Mr. Katumbi recognized the efforts that Zambia was making in improving the livelihoods of not only her people, but also the Congolese. Governor Katumbi paid glowing tribute to the Zambian government on the vision of setting an example of focused development planning through initiatives such as public-private partnerships.
Ce que vous avez construit ici, lorsque je suis entré dans ce bâtiment, je me suis retrouvé en Europe.
And other people are going to criticize. Nabo business yabonga tawale landa inshallah kona.
S'ils ne font pas en tout cas leur business, leurs activités en tout cas, ils ne vont rien faire.
Ngamwamo netwe mukuri le kuno na ifweto walaisho kukula kulialu bali. Mina sema bandu kwetu munaona benzetu banatutosha yo kungambo na shifo tu batosha na shitu yenge kule kwetu haina vile. Joy President Kabila alinituma asema wende ukangarie na shitu fanye kizuri na shiu.
That's what we said, go and see, so that we'll never tell you also things the same.
Ero ndefo kulanda ti business between Zambia and Congo.
Je voulais dire le business entre la Zambie et le Congo.
Ilienda bwino
En
sana.
tout cas, ce sont vraiment de bonnes relations.
Pali nomba abantu baleta makwewe yabo ku Zambia yambi watu wala ku Congo takuli problem. Because mwalikuwa wakateka bamano. Abo wakateka bamano na bakwata support yesu ya ku Congo.
En tout cas, ce président bénéficie de notre soutien au Congo.
Takuli umuntu ingafuma ku Zambia kwe bati kuli bakabila na bakwata ko Mzambia ni yangunga yangumo.
Il y a personne qui vient par exemple du Congo chez le président Kabila.
Non, vous avez très mal traduit. Mina sema hakuna tena Zambia tunabambaka ku Kongo haina vile. Na shie tuko na lomba ku Zambia bashanze kubamba ba Kongole Bonse ejo tulevoya ni business ne fialo fieso ku ya kuntanshi. Ejo ba president mwila mfwa ku bantu.
Monsieur le président, n'écoutez pas ce que les gens sont en train de dire.
The Congolese people are happy for what you are doing in Zambia.
Le peuple congolais est très heureux de voir ce que vous êtes en train de faire vraiment en Zambie.
And the Zambian people also are very happy.
Le peuple zambien est aussi content.
Yangu ngatoya mu Bible.
Même lorsque nous parlons de la Bible,
abashishe Jesus Christ bantu fie.
Les gens qui ont vendu notre Seigneur Jésus-Christ, ce sont des personnes simples.
Ababufi.
En tout cas, les gens, des menteurs.
Ero bamutwele abantu balata muntu akwale so mulekeni balekeni Rupiah balebomba.
Lorsque on dit non, c'est innocent, laissez le président Rupiah travailler.
Mule isalamatwi.
Fermez les oreilles.
Bantu ebu yantanshi umule kitamzana.
Parce qu'il y a développement en Zambie.
Abantu abengi.
Beaucoup de gens.
Before I need my politics and businessman.
Avant justement d'entrer en politique, j'étais un homme d'affaires.
Mrs. Lungu, bantu wengi mwene muno. Ifwe mu business.
Nous, dans le commerce,
tutasho muntu ifintu ifiole mona.
Nous visitons une personne quand nous voyons les actions.
Bantu efyo mwene Muzambia amaro imisewo bapangire Muzambia leta sha government ya ba president Rupiah Banda batotele bona babomba sana. Lelonga wa ngawa ya Lusaka kama Lusaka ile ichinja.
Lusaka est en train de changer.
Ngawa ya kukopa belt.
Vous allez sur le Copa Belt.
Na ila bana marodi yambi mukitwe.
J'avais oublié certaines routes à Kitwe.
Yama rodi yambi bala alungisha pali nomba. Kwa minister bachila landa. So ekionde lombako really kumfwana between the two countries.
Donc l'entente entre les deux pays.
Pantu pali nomba.
Parce que pour le moment,
Rupiah Banda.
Le président Rupiah Banda.
Aba president Kabila.
Le président
Bali
Kabila.
Muchinga.
Ils sont un.
Ikintu kinga.
Ils sont pour une chose.
Eke sami bepa bobu fiyo.
En tout cas, qu'on ne vous trompe pas.
They are brothers.
Ce sont des frères.
That's why our president Bachintuma say my brother is coming. Kabiye uye chita witness if you bare
Le président
isola.
m'envoie en tout cas pour être témoin justement de ce qui se passe ici.
And before Mr. President,
Et avant cela, Monsieur le Président,
I was driving also my trucks sometimes coming to the border.
je conduisais aussi justement mon camion.
I was coming from South Africa
Je venais d'Afrique du Sud.
as a young man, 17 years old boy.
J'avais 17 ans à ce moment-là.
And that time I was very handsome.
J'étais vraiment
And I know this small little border here.
je connais cette
Imi-
frontière.
Abengi bali monaka yandaka alipo hapa.
Beaucoup de gens ont vu la petite maison qui était là.
Ushe ni size ya Zambia ilia.
Et c'est vraiment la mesure.
Ni size ya kutufiaro tutakwata na machine.
En tout cas, c'est la mesure des pays qui n'ont pas de nom.
Really size ya Zambia lelo ni ya moneka hapa.
Le
Ni
bâtiment
size ya
qui est
Zambia.
ici. C'est ça le bâtiment.
Na chebati umwana wandoshi
En tout cas, l'enfant d'un sorcier.
na mwambogula wekivemba.
Je n'ai pas compris le Blovemba.
Echo ndeba kuba president, Mr.
Je dis
President.
vraiment au président.
Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur le
Na
président.
mwali mona this year Zambia po ba president balipo yangu
Vous avez vu
amataba
justement en Zambie cette année.
yengi yafuye ku Zambia.
En tout cas, il y a beaucoup de
Yangu
projets
ifwe
qui étaient
ku
réalisés.
Congo tatula ichula because business ilienda bui.
Pour le moment, aussi,
Oui,
je
non.
pense avec parce que le commerce.
So twatotela sana.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur le président.
But I think God is going to bless you and bless this country. Thank you very much.
Sheds, warehouses, restaurants, hotels, duty-free shops, and many other facilities associated with expectations of stakeholders in a modern business environment. President Banda was happy that the cost of doing business between Zambia and the DRC will significantly be reduced, and the economic benefits occurring from the ultra-modern facility will be mutually profitable for both countries.
Become the hub of this region, it is necessary that we improve on our border post management to enhance passage and transparency relating to cargo handling and hence reduce the cost of doing business. This has both economic and enforcement benefits.
The President acknowledged the importance of efficient border operations and effective transportation system in the drive towards sustainable development of the two countries.
Government has long recognized that it is necessary to modernize all border posts, as having only one modern border post at Chirundu is not sufficient for the rapid clearance of cargo carriers. In other words, what is the point of entering Zambia quickly and come and get stuck here at Kasumbalesa before proceeding to the Congo?
President Rupiah Banda also illustrated that the Chirundu one-stop border facility was, on its own, not sufficient. He called for establishment of a network of efficient borders between Zambia and all her neighbors.
This is necessary so that our people can move quickly. They don't have to spend many days here at Kasumbalesa, spending a lot of money being inconvenienced when they can get to their destination across quicker than we have done. That's why we are pleased to be here and to see this border post being opened today.
In an effort to make Zambia a hub of economic development in the region, government has taken steps to improve infrastructure and services. Through public-private partnerships, the intention of government is to engage the private sector in the development of infrastructure and services. Government will then continue with its facilitative role of encouraging and enhancing private investments in the sector. At Kasumbalesa, the President invited the private sector to vigorously participate in the development of Zambia.
The participation of the private sector in the infrastructural development releases government resources for other priority areas. Resources that government would have spent on infrastructure development are then used for other equally important requirements, including health and education for of our people.
As we move towards Vision 2030, development of socio-economic infrastructure through PPPs will be tailored to enhance Zambia's strategic and geographic position as a hub of regional socio-economic activities. During the Kasumbalesa function, the President stressed the importance of regional integration.
I believe sincerely that Africa will be the next continent to watch in terms of development. I believe sincerely that we have got the capacity as Africans to achieve what other continents have achieved. All we need to do is to work together to keep the peace in our respective countries and to open up to one another. We shall soon be the continent to watch.
Through PPP programs, delivery of public infrastructure, goods and services will be enhanced through creation of a framework that allows both the private and the public sectors to leverage on their abilities for managing and delivering development programs. This will be done through the use of financial, managerial, professional and technical resources and capacities. Through PPPs, public services will be delivered more efficiently and effectively to allow government resources to be channeled to other areas where direct public investment and intervention is required.
We have got all that it takes to develop ourselves. We have got good land, good soils, we've got good rainfalls, we've got wonderful people, very strong people who can do any kind of work. We've got everything that we need to develop as a result of being right here in the Congo and Zambia. Let us use this facility, which we've come to open today, properly, look after it, treasure it. It is a joint property of the people of the two countries, and we must utilize it in order to enhance our development efforts. In our country here in Zambia, we are trying our best within our limited resources. Within the 2.5 years I've been here, and thank you very much for what you said about us, I have been able, together with my colleagues, to make a major impression and transformation of our country. Not because of any miracle, but simply by working together.
Through the Kasumbalesa border crossing facility, Zambia will receive 15% of the dividends during the concession period before taking over. The Zambia Border Crossing Company will also establish a fund for improving health and education facilities in surrounding areas. President Rupiah Banda was delighted that what was just a dream less than a year ago had materialized into an ultra-modern border facility.
To declare Kasumbalesa border post officially commissioned, and I thank all of you for coming, and may God bless our two great countries. At the same time, thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Thank you.
After the official launch, the President of the Republic of Zambia and the Governor of Katanga Province of the Democratic Republic of Congo were taken on a guided tour of the Kasumbalesa border crossing facility.
Your Excellency, there are 22,000 meters of communication cables and high-tech cables throughout these parameters. This is the most advanced border post even in Europe. Before coming here, the representative of ZRA have mentioned that he's looking forward for us to be similar to the border between Canada and the USA. I've told him that this dream is already here, because the system that we're having here, they are the same system.
After the launch by the President, Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary, Mr. Vili Lombanya, was on hand to emphasize the significance of the occasion.
This is a big day for the Copperbelt in particular. But I would like to say that it's not only for the Copperbelt, because this border post is between Congo and Zambia. What that entails is that in relation to the regional trade, we have SADC and COMESA, which means the COMESA trade going to Congo, SADC trade going to Congo will be facilitated by this border post. What you should know is that this is not only a border post, one-stop border post. It is a state-of-the-art, one of the best in the world. And I think in this region, this is the first one. You know that we have Chilundu border post, which is a one-stop border post, but this one has gone a step further. This one, everything will be automated. There will be no human involvement in the processing of the traffic, goods, and everything. So it is going to cut on time that people have been waiting to clear themselves. You may be interested to know that it will be possible here to clear a vehicle in 24 minutes because there will be no human involvement. The truck will come, it will be mounted on the CC camera, the computers will be there to receive it, they will weigh automatically the tonnage, the weight of the vehicle and everything, and also to see what is inside the goods. And then the computer will transmit the details to one officer, and that vehicle will be cleared.
Using the newly constructed Kasumbalesa border crossing facility as an example, Mr. Lombanya outlined the social benefits of the PPP programs.
The development here is a double-edged sword. It is going to provide, already provided jobs up to 250 to Chilabongwe residents who are already employed here, who are going to work specifically for the company, the developer or the promoter of this project. Now, that also does not include the people who are going to work for the agents. You know, the people are going to be agents for the customs. There's a ZRA here, there's police here, there's a clinic here, all sorts of services. Besides that, they are building a school which is going to accommodate more pupils than the present one, which has only 2 classrooms. So really, we on the Copperbelt are grateful that this facility has come here. It would have been put anywhere else. We could have gone to Mwami, it could have gone to Kipushi or somewhere, but we on the Copperbelt are fortunate that this very first of the projects under the public-private partnership has come to the Copperbelt, and particularly Kasumbalesa. You heard Governor Katumbi saying that after seeing this, they want to replicate it on the other end. What that will mean is that trade and movement of people between the 2 countries is going to be enhanced. Business is going to boom.
In echoing an earlier statement from the Minister of Finance and National Planning, P.S. Lombanya also revealed other developments which are planned for the Copperbelt province.
In this province, from last year, the President commissioned 7 projects. In this province only. We began with New Ransha Mine. We moved from there, we went to Konkora Deep Mine project. We went to Konkora North, we went to Chambeshi Smelter, Changa Smelter, Konkora North project, North Mine, Konoko. Then we went back to Chambeshi West ore body. These projects are key and landmarks. There are things people are able to see. There are tangible things you can see. You know, some of us would like not to believe what we see. But if we cannot believe what we see, at least these are standing monuments we should be able to touch. If you like Thomas in the Bible, who refused to believe that Jesus Christ has resurrected because he didn't see him, at least he used his hands to touch his hands. So we are calling upon those who don't believe that there's an agenda of development in this country to come and look at this structure. Governor Katumbi described it. This is the size of Zambia, not the previous small house which was there. So those who don't want to believe their eyes should at least come and touch it, even take photographs to know that at least where there was grass, where there are trees, there's now development. We shall not go. We want to go back to this one. We have to move again to another thing. Already to complement this, we are putting up, still under the public-private partnership, we are putting up a job carriageway right from Kitwe to Kasumbalesa. And that will further ease the flow of traffic and the human movement. So it is fantastic for us.
The residents of Chililabombwe were also happy with the development that had taken place in their town.
My name is Mr. Morris Renzu, a resident of Chililabombwe. I've been here in this district for many, many years. But having been here, I know how much we have been missing in the past. As at now, what I'm witnessing today is something very, very, very beautiful and something very wonderful. Because when they talk of development, this is it. Because it will take so many hours for a truck to cross over or for anybody to be saved. But with the coming of such an investment, government definitely must be commended. And with all these things that are coming aboard, what more do you want? Because there is no more what we used to call smuggling. What do you smuggle? Everything's done on the white plate, on the same place, the passports are stamped, vehicles are cleared. So I find this to be extremely most welcome. Now being a year where people are preparing to choose new leaders, this is the type of development we need, and we must forge ahead to have more of such kind of development. We need development. Marketeers will benefit out of this. Everybody will have a share out of it. I'm very much impressed and I'm very grateful for the idea of bringing such an investment in Chililabombwe and in Kasumbalesa in particular.
The success of the PPP program requires widespread public support, as PPPs represents a substantially new paradigm for government and the private sector. Continuous capacity building is necessary for all stakeholders in the PPP process. All stakeholders should endeavor to improve the general level of awareness and understanding of PPPs to facilitate sound policy development. Government will continue to provide an environment for ensuring that sufficient levels of resources are sourced in order to deliver good PPP projects. The success of the PPP program will depend on the development and retention of appropriate skills and expertise in the public and private sectors. While the government has pledged to play its part, the Zambian private sector must also play its part. The new Kasumbalesa border crossing facility will be run by the Zambia Border Crossing Company for a period of 20 years. Indeed, it is a fantastic development that all Zambians must be proud of.
Welcome back. That was our report on the Kasumbalesa border facility there, showing you some of the development the government is making, working with other stakeholders. In this respect, that was, as you have heard, the first PPP program to get off the ground, and the progress is what you have seen there. This evening, it is my pleasure to introduce the director for the PPP program in the Ministry of Finance and National Planning. This is Mr. David Ndopu. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Kandeta.
Thank you.
Good evening, viewers.
Good to see you once again. Mr. Ndopu, viewers, is going to help us just to understand what facility we have at Kasumbalesa. What is the difference between Kasumbalesa and the other border facilities? He's also going to help us understand, once again, what other programs we expect in the near future to get off the ground in the PPP program. Let's get going. What is that facility at Kasumbalesa?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kandeta. The Kasumbalesa border post project is a one-stop border post, which was created under the public-private partnership. First of all, I want to say it's the first born of the public-private partnership program in the country. It's the first PPP project under the current regulatory framework. As you know, the Zambian government put in place the law on public-private partnership in August 2009. And from 2009, a lot of things, a lot of work has been going on behind the scene. And the first product that we have is a Kasumbalesa border post. And for me, this is a sign that the public-private partnership is also working in Zambia. It's going to work in Zambia.
Excellent.
If it's working in other countries, definitely it's also working in Zambia, and we have the first product delivered, which is Kasumbalesa border post.
Now, I just need you to help my colleagues in Kitwe, Mufurira, Chirawombwe, Luansha, Chingola, Kalulushi, and everywhere on the Copper Belt. But not only them, but the Zambians out there who are listening to you. I need you to make it clear to them what is the difference between the facility at Kasumbalesa and the Chirundu facility, and the difference between the Kasumbalesa facility and the other border facilities around us in Zambia.
There are various differences. First of all, the Kasumbalesa border post was built by the private sector. There is no government money which went in there. The private sector built that border entirely for a cost of $25 million. The equity, part of the equity came from the promoters, and the debt financing came from the Development Bank of Southern Africa. So that's a major difference. The next difference is that, as you have seen, the product on the ground, that's an ultra-modern facility. It's a sophisticated border. It's equipped with all kinds of equipment.
Now, you describe the sophistication. This is what people want to
Yeah,
to
first
know.
of all, the border has facilities such as a weigh bridge, cameras, scanners, the control room. What that means is that there will be no more pilferage at the border. Immediately a truck walks, drives into that facility. The person in the control tower, or the officers in the control tower, are able to tell how much weight it's carrying. They are also able to tell where the truck is coming from, who the owner of that truck is. So they are able to tell a lot of things. And secondly, the trucks don't have to wait for a very long period of time like it used to be. The computerized, sophisticated IT system which is there clears that truck within 20 minutes of arrival at the
20 minutes is cleared.
Yes. Before, you used to see long queues of trucks all the way up to Chilelabombwe, taking several weeks.
That was sad.
And that was a cost not only to the drivers who were queuing up there, it was also a cost to the owners of the businesses, the trucks. And it was also a cost to the surrounding people. You can imagine
security.
The security, people used to lose luggage, equipment from their trucks, and as well as the social effects of the drivers hanging
Staying
around
in one
place for that long. I won't go into detail of that,
Absolutely.
but you can imagine what the drivers can do 2 weeks hanging around in an area like that. Yeah, but what is more important is that now the border can clear up to about 600 trucks in one day, one way.
600?
Yes, in one way, and they can also clear trucks 600 the other way. But of course, right now they're clearing up to 400 trucks either way. So they're clearing about 800 trucks in one day. They have 3 shifts of people coming in to work. In fact, the border facility can actually be opened for the whole 24 hours. It's only that government hasn't yet put in place mechanism for the immigration and the police to work round the clock. Yeah, so the turnaround of trucks can now go and come back quickly. It's shortened, and that shortens the cost, and that's the major advantage to it. And how does government benefit from such a short turnaround? As you are aware that government continues to collect revenue, the taxes that it used to collect through the border. Now, because there's a larger number of trucks crossing the border, it means that even government raises more revenue. Instead of clearing one track, because the facility at that time could clear only a few tracks, now it clears 400 tracks in one slot.
Yeah, so revenue comes in quickly.
Quickly for the government as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a win-win situation.
So now, people, one thing, you're talking about revenue, and may we understand here, what is the benefit to the country for a private sector to put a border facility like that? Who is getting the money?
Oh, the benefits are a lot, Mr. Kandeta. First of all, let me start from job creation. I think the border, during construction, it employed about 450 employees in that town. And bear in mind that this is a special border, that it engaged a local contractor, Gomes Haulage of Ndola. It's a local contractor owned by Zambians. They employed Zambians. That's the beautiful thing about it. And secondly, when the border started functioning after commissioning, they had employed 250 Zambians, from the general manager, Mr. Samuel Sandy, right to the top, to the sweeper. They are all Zambians working in there. Excellent. And they will be trained in various aspects, IT, and they will be sent to South Africa for training. They will eventually go to Israel for training to be able to manage the IT equipment that is there. Besides that, there are other unskilled, like traffic marshals guiding where the trucks are going. All those are Zambians. There is no foreigner working on that site. And you could actually see that, the happiness that came to the town during the commissioning on the 4th of March. The whole town of Chirilalombo almost came to a standstill. People are excited because besides the direct jobs that are going to be offered to those young people, I spoke to them, I saw a lot of future, a lot of hope for them. These are not temporary jobs, they are jobs for their lifetime, because that border will be there for the next 20, 25 years. They will be in employment for that long. Besides that, there are what we call the multiplier effects. There will be a market there, there will be hotels there, there are restaurants there, there's an internet cafe there. The facility also has some rooms for the clearing agencies. There are about 25 clearing offices there, who will also be housed in the border. So you see, other than offering just employment directly to these young lads, the school leavers and so on, there's also employment created by people themselves. Self-employed, those who come to
the agents,
the agents, and so on and so forth.
Now, talking about self-employment and thing, one is thinking a facility of that magnitude and of that high-tech nature might require things like storage facilities, bigger parking space, bigger machinery to move about this storage. What is that the complete plan for Kasumbalesa?
No. That's actually just the first phase. The second phase has already been approved. We've already signed the concession for the second phase of Kasumbalesa, and the Development Bank of Southern Africa has already approved that second phase. The second phase, as you could see from the parking lot, it can accommodate about 400 trucks. But there's an extension for more parking, warehousing, refrigeration, and the hotels. That will be the next phase. There are about 6 phases. From there, you go to housing. From there, you go to a shopping mall. From there, so it is a very large complex. It's a very big project.
It will be some kind of a mini township.
Yeah, it will be a mini town. Yeah, so the benefits are a lot. And what I can advise the people of Ndola, Kitwe, the people in the Copper Belt, I can give an example, like people should be proactive. They should move nearer where it's happening. There are opportunities are available, they are created. You go nearer to see how you can participate, either by, self-employment or trying to get a job somewhere near there. Because if you are far away from such a facility which has been created, you lose out. The best example I can give you that if it's a blind man who has a plate, he wants to put a plate near to the road, he goes to a crowded place. He goes to where things are happening. You
Yes.
don't go to a street where there's nobody walking there and put your plate out there, because no one will put money there. So you have to go nearer to that crate to see what opportunities are available.
Absolutely.
There will be a market there will be stands. So all the activities, the transactions that were happening around there will all be housed, they will be done in an orderly way. Yeah, and the major advantage.
You know what you are telling me reminds me of one of my favorite songs. Do you know which one this is?
No, I don't
This is a song done by Nashia Pichen Kazembe saying Vamahara vinata. Ngamufuna kusevenza, ngamufuna kudya, you have to work.
Exactly.
So, you know, for instance, I saw some adverts from the Zambia construction paper in the past week. Ministry of Education advertising a lot of, tenders, calling for tenders, construction projects. You know, it tallies with what you are saying. These things are being put in the public domain, but are our people taking advantage? I need you to dwell on that point. People have seen that there is a facility that is going to Kasumbalesa. What should they do to take advantage of the opportunity that should go there?
Yeah, similarly, like you are saying, there are a lot of other opportunities in the education sector which have been advertised. People of Zambia should be proactive. You know, you should take the opportunity to participate in what is going on.
Absolutely.
About here. If you don't have a company of your own to start bidding for those jobs, you are at a very low level. At least sell something, maybe even sell your labor. You know, you could retrain.
Skill, yes.
You could retrain, be an artisan, be a painter, be an electrician,
Absolute,
and be
absolute.
part and parcel of what is going on.
Excellent.
Don't sit back and start watching or come to Lusaka to look for a job when things are happening right in
your area.
Yeah, because people complain that school being built, for example, in Shangombo, people from Lusaka have gone there to build it. It's up to the people there in Shangombo to be proactive, to be the ones to build their own school. And that's the message I will send even to people in Chilabombo. They should not just look from a distance and admire the border post. The border post is their border post. So they should participate. It's theirs. It's a government property. They should move there and see what they can do. If they can't get a stand, get a job or do something, sell something to earn a livelihood from that.
As we go to the conclusion of this insight into Kasumbalesa, what other programs are we expecting under the PPP?
Yeah, we
border
have
facilities, airports. You've spoken about those in the past. When do we see them off the ground?
Like I said in my earlier remarks, that the coming on board of Kasumbalesa is the sign of better things to come. Where there has been a lot of work that has been going on in the background. Right now, Nakonde will be next. It's also going to be delivered in the next few months. Of course, on Kasumbalesa, we took about 10 months.
10 months only,
which is a record time.
It is.
Now comparing that, Chirondo took 5-6 years.
Yes,
yeah, but a PPP project, a border project, took actually 6 months. The other 4 months was finishing off the fixtures and fittings. So we are going to move on to Nakonde. A concession has already been signed for Nakonde border post. Nakonde is between Zambia and Tanzania.
Absolutely.
It's also going to be delivered, and I'm sure, having learned the teething problems, the challenges that we had on Kasumbalesa, Nakonde will be easier implemented.
Yes, I have a friend there, the chairman of the Border Crossing Association there is my colleague. I developed that friendship when we went there to look at the project with the minister, and I'm sure he's very happy to be hearing that from you. And many of my brothers, guys, the progress and the business will be improved. Not so.
Business opportunities will be improved.
What else? Yeah. Airports.
Then we have Mwami, which is between Zambia and Malawi. The concession has already been signed, and the developer has already been on site to attend, to assess, to take studies and so on. Then we have Chanida. This is a border between Mozambique and Zambia. Also, the concession has been given out. Of course, the size of the border post will vary. You know, some border posts are very active, so they will have large investment. Some border posts are not very
smaller.
active, they are smaller, so the investment will be small. And then we have Kipushi border post, which is on the border between DRC and Zambia, some 120 kilometers into DRC from Solwezi. The concession has already been signed by the Minister of Finance. Then we have Kipushi also up in Northwestern Province. That also has been signed. The concessions are already signed, and the works on these sites is expected to begin soon. There are other border posts that we are just finalizing, where the selection of the developers like Kasumbalesa and so on, those will also be awarded to developers.
I need you to conclude now, Mr. Ndopu, so that everyone can prepare for work tomorrow. But housing?
Yes, housing, just like I've reported in my previous appearances on this program, the concessions are ready for the minister to sign. The technical committees have gone through them. The developers have been to the site. There have been a lot of visitations. I think starting from Kazungula, there will be 4,000 houses in Kazungula. You must have seen some reporting from the district commissioner.
Yes.
Yeah, the developers have been on site. The drawings, the types of houses that will be there are already drawn, and they are ready. In Livingstone, another 4,000. Then we have here in Lusaka, we have, by the way, even in Chibombo, Kabwe, Ndola, Kitwe, all the way up to Solwezi will be houses. Of course, the public-private partnership in conjunction with all other key
What about
stakeholders.
Kafue is so close to
Yes,
Lusaka.
we are looking for land in that area. Wherever we can find for land, the developers will be given that land for construction. Yeah, so there's a lot of progress, and I'm happy to report that for us in the PPP unit, we are very happy because the firstborn has been delivered, and that's Kasumbalesa for everyone to see.
Excellent. Final thoughts. What are your final thoughts, Mr. Ndopu?
Yeah, what I wanted to say is that the public-private partnership program is going to play a very key role in the development of this country. And it's no longer a mere talk that there's a PPP, there's what, but it's going to play a very big role in the economic development of this country, and it should be given the attention that it deserves, because you know, in the past projects have been funded by donors, by the government, but we should realize that government doesn't have sufficient resources to develop all these programs. So the private sector has a major role to play in the development of any nation, and this is the only way that government and the private sector can partner up to develop this country.
Good luck in your work on the PPP program. Viewers, that has been our program for this evening. We've been looking at the Kasumbalesa border, launched by His Excellency the President a week ago. And just a short while ago, we were just getting into an insight into what exactly is coming out of that border facility going forward, and some snippets of other programs that are coming under the PPP arrangement. Yes, indeed, through all these things, jobs are being created. But what is important is what Mr. Ndopu said here. Please let us be proactive. Let's get there. Let's get to where the activity is, and let's make ourselves relevant to the activity that is happening around ourselves, so that one, we help the community in which we live in, but also we help ourselves by utilizing our skills and making wealth out of the skills that we have. All these things that are happening cannot happen without the blessings that God has bestowed on this country and the peace that we have enjoyed for so many years. Which peace we should all pray, everyone at home, everyone who is at work, everyone who is listening to this program should pray for continued peace in this country, so that development can continue to be delivered in a peaceful environment. With thanksgiving in our hearts, we end this program. Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week at the same time, viewers, and good night.